Well, I've been failing to stream for the last, I don't know, 15 minutes, but you know what? We already know the first 5 minutes of what happens, but we'll find out what happens in the next 10 as we continue to roll solo. Hello, hello, and welcome to Rolling Solo. The first and perhaps only Future Paul here. Just wanted to mention that I'm about to say a bunch of stuff about being the only Daggerheart streaming show, but what I mean is I'm the first and, as far as I know, only solo actual play doing Daggerheart. Not the only solo actual play. There's a ton of them. You should check them out. Not the only Daggerheart stream. There's a ton of them. You should check them all out. But the only solo Daggerheart stream that I know of. I'm sure there's another one. Daggerheart live play, role-playing stream, actual play on Twitch and also on YouTube. Is it the only one? I have no idea, but I haven't seen another one, so we're just going to go ahead and claim the exclusive Daggerheartness of it all right now. Which this is probably a good time to say, if you've been watching and you would like to continue watching, I would encourage you to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, try to hunt me down on Mastodon. Those are literally the only platforms I'm on, that and YouTube. You can follow me there. So, yeah, follow me one of those places. Don't look for me on Twitter. You won't find me. And this is a good time to let you guys know that the product that you're watching is adapted from or based on content created and owned by Darrington Press. The Daggerheart Open Beta Materials, Darrington Press LLC, 2024, available at daggerheart.com. So, with all of that out of the way and basic business taken care of, let's go ahead and do our recap. So, last week, we followed the journal entries of Auriane Chopin as she detailed the crossing of the equator on a ship that she was traveling on with the woman she is the bodyguard for, whatever that relationship would be called, Kolbrau Einar's daughter, Princess of Ashes, an emissary to the court of Kiragz, along with Ursula Fran's daughter, Kolbrau's protector and guardian from a very young age. The three have been traveling north to try to reach the kingdom of Kiragz, there to consummate a marriage between Kolbrau and Prince Leo Adler, meant to form an alliance between the nation of Ashes and the nation of Kiragz in the face of the threat from the theocracy of Ulhaudor. The Ulhaudorans having in recent years unexpectedly become quite aggressive and militaristic and have been threatening to cross the Ankipmor River into Kiragz for quite some time, leading to much nervousness. On arriving in the city of Sprin, Kolbrau and Auriane found that Prince Leo has been assassinated, a move that was foreshadowed by a communication across the mysterious fungal network by the Master Assassin several episodes back. With that having occurred, we will open in the council chamber of the Castle of Ashes, the castle of Kiragz, the seat of the House of Adler, which sits atop a bluff near the sea. Its south side looking out onto the harbor, its north side watching the ground as it gently slopes away to farmland and rolling hills here in the northern part of the kingdom of Kiragz. The throne room itself being large and high vaulted ceilings and with high windows and lights streaming in, with the council chamber having a much lower ceiling and being behind the throne, a low room lit only by arcane lamps that are set in sconces lining the walls. On one side of the table, Jonas Adler, king of Kiragz, sits, his diamond-studded circlet of a crown hanging loosely on a chair behind him. A large, imposing man. He looks across the table after announcing that his son has been killed and that the Olhaldorans have crossed the Unkeepmore River and have already invaded the nation of Kiragz. He looks across the table in his sadness and concern and asks, "So, princess, are you able to make an alliance with the absence of this marriage?" "I was not sent here as a decoration, Your Majesty. I am sent as an emissary of the House of Ashes. I am sent to represent our kingdom's interests at your court, whatever they may be, and I am empowered to decide what they may be. Perhaps they are to aid you in this time. Perhaps they are to consolidate our forces against this threat which has come so much faster than any of us expected." "I see. So you would leave us in this time to be overrun?" "Of course not. I merely wish to say I am empowered to make decisions, and therefore I will make the decisions that I think are the best." "What exactly is the situation, Your Majesty?" And with that, we get a discussion, a long discussion. Strategy, reports are brought in. We find that at several key points along the river, the Olhaldorans have managed to cross the gigantic and somewhat dangerous Unkeepmore River. Do we have people in the chat? I can't see them. Let me do this. Oh, hello, Rachel. Okay. So, we have we found that they have crossed the Unkeepmore River at this large and treacherous, think of the Mississippi or the Nile, a vast river running north along the continent. They have crossed in many places. They have taken over many towns. They have established beachheads and established placement on the other side of the river, and therefore there is great danger of them being able to establish a presence in Kiragz and be able to continue to move eastward. This goes on for a long time. We can see Kolbrow, as this happens, her strength beginning to flag. Remember, this is a frail orc woman who is perhaps not frail, but is certainly not particularly strong, but her will is powerful, and she manages to stay involved and awake and ask pertinent questions. As we learn of this, and we kind of will montage, we'll see scenes of burning towns, we'll see images of battle, of a nighttime crossing, soldiers cloaked in black with their faces hidden, cutting down the forces of Kiragz in their more brightly colored armor. We see these kinds of scenes of destruction. Perhaps we see the torching of... where are we going to torch? Let's find a town and torch it. Yes, we hear of the torching of the town of Daggerheart, which is somewhat north of the coast. And we also learn that ships have been seen traveling along the northern coast of Eben, perhaps part of an invasion fleet, perhaps heading for Sprin at this very moment. With all of this together, Colbrow finally speaks and says, Can your troops hold? Can you hold Sprin and hold the south? For as long as it would take us to get troops here, it is hundreds of miles. We have been arranging for some movement. We have some troops ready at this time to move north, but we're unable to necessarily vacate our own border. I believe we can send ships. We have a sufficient presence in the Sea of Cavay to prevent them from attacking us there, and we have our ships from the Gulf, but it will be at least 2 weeks before even the beginnings of help will be able to show up. Well, yes, but they have many miles to travel before they can get to Sprin. I believe we can hold. We will pull our forces back and consolidate. Very well. If you believe you can hold, we will need to establish communication with the capital. We will need to send for what did I decide to call these guys? The Attuned. We will need to send for a member of the Attuned. And so they do, and once again we see for the second time in this campaign the entering of a fungrel, their face completely shielded. Time has passed on. They come in with their dark cloak, their faces shielded in white. A bit of their mushroom cap shows, but for the most part they are completely cloaked, their hands hidden. They enter the palace. They're shown in, brought in. Princess gives them a coded message, which they will take onward. And now we get to our first roll of the day because we need to know something. We need to know two things. One of which is important for the future of this campaign, and one of which is not. I'm going to use my new oracle, which I have created, which is based on Daggerheart dice. So, gold dice is fear, white dice is hope. And let's go ahead and roll. So what is the question that we're asking the question? The first question is, have the attuned learned information of value at this time that will help to understand the motives of the Olhaldorans? Okay, so that is an 11. And that is an 11 with fear. So the answer to this question is going to be no. They do not have that information at this time. And they have been unable to learn the actual nature of the information. There is a problem with their network in Olhaldor itself. So we have learned... I'll go ahead and make a note of this. We have learned there is a problem with the attuned network in Olhaldor. Okay. So given that, next question. Is this particular fungrel aware of the message that was taken to assassinate the prince? Has the network broken that code? That is an 11 with hope. No. But they are definitely working on it. And they're intelligent enough to surmise that such a message was sent. They just haven't broken the assassin's code. Now this is too important to leave to a roll. Assassination message. It's too important to leave about the roll to a roll. I know that the is this particular member of the attuned part of the faction that is seeking more information about what is going on in Olhaldor? That is a 15 with hope. Yes, and they have brought for us a coded message. They have brought a message with them. So the princess hands the coded message to the member of the attuned, and the member of the attuned, this fungrel, in return hands back an envelope saying, "We have already received a message from your father, enclosed," and hands over the message. The king Where are my glasses? They're over there. Hold on one second. The king looks up and says, if you would like some privacy, Your Highness, you may step into one of the smaller rooms off to the side to read your message and confer with your advisors. And she does so. And so, Kolbrow and Auriane and Ursula step from the conference room into a small side chamber off of the conference room. This looks like, what we might think of as a breakout room, like we have a council, we're going to send a committee over this way to discuss other things. A smaller room, smaller table, smaller lamps. And with that, Kolbrow reads the message. She hands it to Ursula without saying a word, and Ursula looks at it. Hands it to Auriane without saying a word. And this is where we will read the message. And the message says, Princess, your efforts to face the Olhadorans with military power and common alliances are doomed to failure. There is a greater threat at work here. Someone must move into Olhador and must seek the center of the corruption that is spreading from Olhador and cut the head off this snake at its source. We bring this information to you as we have brought it to many others, or a few others, in the hopes that one of these groups, one person who we reach out to, will be able to follow the trail of broken nodes and determine what the cause of this war is and end it. And there is no signature. And the princess reads this message, and Auriane finishes reading this message. She looks over to Ursula. And I think I want to know. I really kind of want to know. Is Kolbrow... Does this quicken Kolbrow's pulse? Does she see this message and think to herself, aha! An opportunity to really do something? As a 15 with fear, that is a no, but. Or yes, but. She will turn to her fellows and say, an opportunity to end the war sounds amazing, but I don't see how we could possibly abandon our responsibilities here. Ursula says, I agree. There is nothing we can do. She mentioned that there were others, but someone else handled this problem. But Auriane says, I do not think that we should count on other people to do this work for us. There is a great corruption, I believe, that has settled upon our lands. Not only have an assassination attempt been taken on you, Your Majesty, Your Highness, but there have been assassinations now on this young Prince Leo. My uncle was assassinated. They are trying to take out the leadership of and the foundations of our alliances and cut out our hearts from within. If they are trying to cut out our hearts from within, there is only one response, which is to go to them and cut theirs. And I will have her roll presence and see how well she does this. Auriane. Let's see. She is a +1 on presence. Let's see how she does. Let's set a DC. Let's say 8 plus 15. Wow. Okay. Real good. She is going to spend, let's see, she has 2 hope. I think I'm going to spend 1 hope to use her experience, and I'm going to refresh this because this is still in 1.42 mode on Demiplane, and I want it to be in 1.5. So they're retrieving their character engine updates. This is kind of an important role. This is a big deal. Spend a hope to get +2. Using her experience, I belong here. Okay, there's that hope. So she belongs here. She's using that to get a +2. +1, so this is going to roll at a +3. That is a 9. That is a 12. +3 is 15, which was our DC. So, but it's with fear. You know what? Let's see. I think I'm out of fear. Let me find my fear sheet here. I am out of fear, so you know what? I am just going to go ahead and take that fear. And that will be that's how I will handle that roll with fear. So she makes the DC. She makes a convincing case with a 12. Perhaps you're right, Auriane. But how? How will we find our way from here? And that is where we will end today's episode. So, thank you very much. We have some things that have happened. I'm very excited about them. We're going to be moving into new territory. A message has been delivered. A message has been listened to. And exciting things are afoot. So, thank you for joining me for this episode of Rolling Solo. I hope that you have enjoyed it almost as much as I have. If you have, and if you want a piece of Rolling Solo swag or any of the other amazing t-shirts that I have designed, I mean, I say amazing, but I just mean, like, they're good. I like them. Any Solid Soft merchandise you want, you can find at etsy.com/shop/solidsoftdesign. And with all of that said, hey, keep on rolling.